Yo, what up, man? This your boy Baby D checking in, representing the ATL, and you already know what's going on. I done jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. ATL, hope.
Dirty South, down here, little buddy, we don't play no games. I represent the ATL, East Side, South, and the West Side niggas on the
All right, y'all. We got Baby D jumping off the porch with us today. What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
What up, bro? What you doing, man? Good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir, man. Definitely a pleasure having you on the porch, bro. You bring a lot to Atlanta hip hop history, Atlanta rap history. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, just want to show love, pay homage, and let our followers, learn your story and get an understanding of, somebody who like pioneered like some of this Atlanta rap shit.
That's real.
So
that's real, man. And once again, like I said, it's always a pleasure, you know what I mean? And when I can get a platform to actually, really just go back and give, the true Atlanta history, from my eyes and what I seen, it's always a pleasure for me to do that, you know what I'm saying? So once again, thank you, you know what I'm saying, the whole team for, having us come through and get blessed the porch, man.
For sure.
I'm trying to sign my name on it. It look like everybody
we
sign
gotta
on
get you
it
to sign.
already.
We gotta get you to stamp the porch, bro.
That's what's up, boss.
All right, so Baby D, like, you from the East Side. Where exactly are you from here in Atlanta?
Right now, I was born and raised on the East Side. I went to March Trail, March Trail right there. I went to Tilson Elementary, so, I was like, that was my whole stomping ground. Gresham Road, Counter Road, that whole little area, that was me.
Okay, Legendary, side of the town. A lot of music fans have heard a lot about, all those streets and different areas that you named. Can you talk about your upbringing, man, on the East Side? Like, what was it like coming up in Atlanta?
Me, man, I'm gonna tell you, it was kind of different because, like, with what was going on, like, now with all the technology and stuff, when I was coming up, it really wasn't, when none of that going on. Like, you can click one button, like with social media, and you can reach millions of followers. But when I was coming up, we was going around with posters, going up, hanging up the posters on the, you had to actually get out and do leg work, The Instagram and the YouTubes and all that was when they were so-called, when you run the chitlin circuit.
Right.
So you would go around and hit all the little towns so they can start talking like, oh, y'all ain't heard about such and such, to get your name, blowed up as far as music in stores. That was how people actually got a chance to see you. So, when I was coming up, it was more of an interactive, you interacted with more people, like, face to face and physically than, that you do nowadays, So when I was coming up, I was like, Sharon Showcase was like one of the first, places that, I might have, got my first taste of a real, like being in a real club. Like, you got Golden Glide, I went to Golden Glide. I went to McNair. So in McNair, I was in the band.
Okay.
I played the drums. I played the violin. So it was more than to me than just rap music. I know how to play instruments. I know how to read music. It's like I'm a musician. I love music. That's my passion, and I would do it for money or for no money just because I love it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, and that came from my church upbringing with my grandma.
Okay.
She raised me, so me being over there, being in church playing the drums and stuff, so I was always around a musical family, a musical upbringing. So I think that kind of rubbed off on me to be where I am and to do what I'm doing now, but me not even really knowing. You see what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be a rapper at first. Like, I wanted to be a DJ. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I got into this music.
Okay.
I was working at JR Crickets, right there on the East Side, right there on Kendall Road, right there at South DeKalb Mall. I'm working at JR Crickets. I bump into, the great, DJ Smooth. He part of the great Edward J team. And so at that time, he was DJing for the City Boys, the Lil Mark and J, man. So he was DJing for them. And he was like, man, I said, man, I want to DJ, man. I want to DJ. So he like, man, for real? I'm like, yeah, man. So first thing he say, man, well, come on. So this time we walking around with crates.
Okay.
You know, at this time ain't no, ain't no
Serato.
ain't no Serato. So I was like, okay, I help you do that. I'm trying to get on, so I want to be a roadie. Big shout out to Twin Productions. So that was who Lil Mark and J Man, we was all signed to Twin Productions. You know what I'm saying? So that was the City Boys. Okay. So I went around, helping him, and then somehow I ventured over into being a hype man for the City Boys.
Okay.
So when that happened, and then my career just took off from there. Met DJ Jelly, met MC Assault. They was working on the same thing. DJs, DJs run the music industry. So you always gonna see yourself going back to a DJ.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I went to the DJs and met DJ Jelly, met Big Oomp, and the rest is history.
Wow. Okay, so now that's interesting because I definitely didn't know that. Starting out as a DJ, do you remember, like, did you get into it deep enough, like, to actually own your own DJ equipment and all that? Like, were you?
Well, actually, I do got my own DJ equipment,
okay.
and I practice. I practice on DJ, but I learned how to scratch. I learned the basics, and even coming from with the DJ Smooth teaching me a few things, and what Jelly was teaching me at that time, it stuck with me. And somehow, like I said, you always got to go back to the DJ, and the DJ is more like the core of the music. They the one that controls the crowd and control the fans. So as an artist, when I do hit the stage, I take that mentality. Like I want to control the crowd. I'm trying to control the fans. I'm not just up here, just rapping and just moving around. I'm trying to make sure that y'all having as much as a good time as I'm having for y'all. You know what I'm saying, on stage. For sure.
I mean, that's the essence of hip hop, bro. Hip hop started with the DJ and the rapper. You know what I'm saying? The MC. Move the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that like all is like from like that same, I guess, circle, if you want to say. No, that's real dope though, and it makes sense too in terms of the type of music that you make, and
exactly.
you know what I mean, and like the way that you've like done your shows and things like that, because it comes from a perspective of somebody who knows how to like control the
crowd control, exactly. And going back to what you were saying about the music, and if you do listen to my music, like you can't really put me in a category because I make all kind of music, because music is based on a feeling. And as an artist, I want to make you feel happy. I want to make you feel sad. I want to make you feel, crunk, as we would say. You know what I mean? I want to make you feel, sometimes just relaxed when you chilling. You know what I mean? So my job as an artist is to have the picture in my head on a blank canvas and to paint the picture so that you can see it through your eyes what's going on in my head.
Okay. So back to your upbringing. I'm interested in knowing, like, you said you were in band. Like in high school, like, were you in the sports? Like, what type of cat was you in the neighborhood? Like, what did cats know you?
In my neighborhood, I was more like, just the average, East Side kid, I guess you could say, because at that time, it really wasn't a lot of gang banging going on. It was more like size, we was proud to be from Mark Trail, it was like, what street you from, where you from? We from the East Side, so we was just proud to be from the East Side. So at that time, I think, and I know, that I've contributed to that era of what the city started representing and stuff like that. But at that time when I was coming up, it really wasn't that. An average kid going to summer camp, got into the same little fights, did everything, just a normal kid would do, but I think that my life really changed, once I started getting into the clubs, once I started leaving, the East Side, and I started going to the West Side, going to Born Home, hanging with, Lil Mark, J-Man, Moot B, Shawty Low, and all them when they used to be in there, you know what I mean? So I used to go over there and I started seeing different things, and I started seeing like, okay, people, from here, they scared to go over here, but we still on the same thing, we just got a different lingo, we come from different sides of the city, you know what I mean? So I think that kind of opened my eyes up, and it just made me venture out into to actually experiencing the things that you would say, like going to the hood now I'm smoking weed, now I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm fucking with these, I'm fucking with these folks, you know, I'm doing, you know, all the shit, you know what I'm saying, getting in trouble, you know, doing all that, you know, all that happened, you know, as I got older, but you know, when I was younger, you know, it was just, I came from like a middle class, you know, upbringing, you know, just chill, really.
Yeah. So what age would you say you jumped off the porch?
I jumped out the porch early. I'd say about 12.
Oh, wow.
Because at that time, I think, like I say, that when I was getting my first test, like my first little taste of, you know, the streets. You see what I'm saying? Because I used to walk back and forth to school. You know, this was the time when, like, we used to walk to school and, you know, and fight at them before the bus stop and, you know, actually go home, you know, and come back and be friends the next day. That type of situation, you know. So we was, you know, so I was, you know, it was just really like, man, it was just like really cool, you know, to me, you know, going when I was going to, you know what I'm saying, to elementary school and stuff like that, because once again, it taught me, you know, a little leadership and stuff like that. So when I say I was, my grandma, I was asking her to buy me some shoes or something, and she wouldn't buy it for me. So I think I got upset. And so I was like, you know what, I'm finna just start doing my own candy business. So I think at that time right there, that was my first time that I think I really just jumped out of the porch, because I was like, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And then I started just sneaking out the window, going to get candy early before, you know what I'm saying, coming home, bagging the candy up, and then going to school, selling the 1 cent candy for the 2 cent candy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say I jumped out of the porch early. You know what I mean? So even though I didn't know what I was doing, now that I'm older now, I know that I had determination, and I had a business aspect and a grind and a hustle in me that I know that took me on to where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's that hustle mentality right there. You know what I'm saying? They say it's in you, not on you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's what's up. So, so you jumped off the porch. You kind of transitioning from, you know, playing instruments in the church and all that, and like starting to like get a feel for the neighborhood and all that.
Exactly.
Did you have any big homies like coming up? Did you have any OGs that was like kind of helping you navigate?
Well, when, you know, and at this time, you know, and I can't even, you know, I really like my homeboys were like Tyrese and, you know, and Chuck Dallas, you know, the Dallas brothers, and these was like the older kids in the neighborhood. You know, that when I would be coming home walking from school, they was like, you know, what you doing, Lenny? You know, saying like on Menace to Society type thing. Where you going, man? Give me that football, you know, rough me up type situation. But at the same time, they was just knowing, because they were from the neighborhood, they ran the neighborhood, and they knew that Gresham Road, like at that time, we was beefing with Gresham Road. So, you know, like we'll go to Sharon Showcase, get in a fight with Gresham Road, and Gresham Road come down to Mark Trail Park, we get in a fight with Mark, you know, so that what was going on. But me, you know, they knew about it, so they was controlling that whole situation. So they was, you know, now that I look back at it, I can say that them were my big homies, you know what I mean, in the neighborhood. But, you know, as I ventured out, you know what I'm saying, my big homie became like Big Oomp, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, at that time when we first started, you know, it was like Big Oomp was still, you know, hustling the mixtapes and stuff, you know, out the back of the trunk. So that was, once again, another business mind and another businessman that, you know what I mean, that I was like, oh, okay, I want to be like him. He doing something I want to do. He doing the music. He his own boss. That's what I want to be. You know what I mean? Then it ventured on from that to, you know what I'm saying, Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? So it just keep going on and on. I learned a lot of game from him. So it's like, you know, I can't say, you know, that I got one big homie, because me, I got a collaboration of big homies, you know what I'm saying, from me going to Chain Gang, learning lessons in there, you know what I'm saying, going to, you know, Ohio learning lessons, going, you know, all these different places, learning these lessons from all these different people. So, you know, I can say my only big homie would be God, for real, because, you know, he protected me through all that and gave me the game. You know what I mean, to learn and listen, how to watch, how to do this, how to do that, you know what I'm saying, when to speak, when not to speak. You know what I mean? So.
Word. What would you say is one of your biggest life lessons that you learned, you know, in the streets, or just, you know, period in life?
Well, one of my big life lessons that I really learned is that you can't really trust nobody. You know, you can't trust nobody, especially when you're doing business. You can't trust nobody really, period. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's your mama, and sometimes you can't even trust your mama. You know what I mean? Go with your first mind, and you know, you always have that gut feeling, you know what I'm saying? I always feel you just go with that gut feeling, you know, and then you can probably, you know, maneuver it, but some things, they will hit you from the sideline, and you know, you can't prevent it, and you gotta take that hit, but you know, it's all about how you bounce back up, is what makes you, you know, stronger than the hit you just took, so.
No, most definitely. That's why they say business over personal.
Exactly,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So, what is like one of the keys that you, like one of the keys of life, I guess you could say, you know, that you kind of like keep with you, like that just helps you to maneuver and, you know, like kind of like stay out of BS. Like how do you?
Well, one of the things that I did learn in life, and my grandma always instilled this into me, and that was speak when you spoken to. You feel what I'm saying? So that, I think that's one of the key things that, you know, kept me out of a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, doing everything that was going on, and saved me from doing a lot of time. You feel what I'm saying? I speak when you spoken to. If you're not speaking to me or about me, then it ain't about me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't have no place in it, so don't put me in it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's cool. So that was one of the things that I think, you know, just kept me out of it. And plus, you know, me, I'm an easy going, you know what I'm saying, kind of guy for real. You know, I don't be tripping. So it's like I try to, you know, mediate the situation always before, you know, it go to, you know, the next level.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because I always feel like, you know, as men and as women, and you know what I'm saying, as a people, we can always talk about stuff, you know what I'm saying, before you just react, because a lot of people will let like a 10-second decision get them like 50 years, you see what I'm saying, when you could have just thought about that, you would just, you know, calm down, like, okay, hold on, now you straight, you know what I'm saying, but instead you reacted, and then now you know what I'm saying, fucked up, so.
Yeah, what's one of the biggest differences between, if you want to say old Atlanta and new Atlanta?
Well,
What you say?
the biggest difference is all these foreign cars riding around this thing, you know what I'm saying? All these strip clubs, you feel what I'm saying? It's like all these clubs, you know, the nightlife, you know, Atlanta is growing, you know, the soccer team, the new stadium, you know, so, you know, honestly, you know, I don't understand, you know, why people, you know, try to, you know, say, okay, this is the old Atlanta, this is new Atlanta, because Atlanta, to me, is just Atlanta, you feel me? And it's always evolving. You know, even from when we was coming up, you know, it was evolving, you know what I mean? So, you know, and I feel like technology is gonna always evolve. So, like I said, like we used to go do in-stores, people would stand in line for like 3 days, spend the night, and wait just to come for you to sign a CD. Now you don't have to do that. You can just buy it on your phone. You just say, but you know, the pros and cons is, okay, now this building, okay, can hold like just say 2 million people. You know, but online now you can sell 5 billion records. So you touching more people with the technology. So, you know, old Atlanta and new Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta is Atlanta, and what we have always been is innovative. We've always been black, you know what I mean? We have always been strong. We always stick together. You know, that's what brings a lot of people to, you know, Atlanta, because when you come here, is, you know, you feel the southern hospitality, and you get a chance to see other people that look just like you doing good when where you came from. Those same people that was doing good might have looked down on you, but these people doing good, and they like, oh, bro, we gonna help you. You do what? Come on, all right, yeah, we need you, boy. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different type of, you know, vibe when you come to the city.
No, for sure. A lot of people that sit on this porch normally say that the biggest difference between Atlanta and their city is the fact that they come down here and people are more open to you, and, you know, just the unity that at least they feel and that they see amongst certain artists down here, just how people work together. You know, that's something that attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
I had this dude, he called me, he was from, I think he was coming from Alabama, I think he said, and you know, and he was just like man, like, man, I love Atlanta, man. I don't know what y'all got going on, but, man, everybody's so cool, so nice. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, now, it's a tricky city now, you know. Don't get it twisted now, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it look good. That's why, you know, people want to come and visit. But, you know what I'm saying, we still the finesse capital, you know what I'm saying? We gonna out there get your ass, for real. But at the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? It's like that can happen anywhere to anybody.
Right.
And I feel like it's just more eyes on the city just because, you know, it's just eyes on the city. So it's like, you know, all eyes on you, one thing happen over there, oh, nah, you did it. But if the same person do the same thing, they sweep it under the rug like it ain't going on. So, you know, I just think that, you know, us as a city and as a people, we represent ourselves well. And as long as we keep doing the same thing, they ain't gonna be able to knock it for real.
Yeah. Man, what's up with the Water Boys here in Atlanta? I feel like
man,
it's a whole different vibe from any other city.
I'm telling you, dog. Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing about the Water Boys, bro. Every time I see the Water Boys, I see myself in them selling candy. When I was like, you know, man, fuck that shit. I need that. I need to go get this. You know what I'm saying? So I got out and hustled up my own thing, but I wasn't selling water. I was selling cookies, candy, juices, 3 lockers full of candy. You see what I'm saying? No books in them. You know, my books, I got books in other 4 lockers. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I see that in them. You know what I mean? But it's just, they doing it differently because once again, we evolved. So now, instead of, why go you sell some candy when you can sell some water and somebody might just pull up, throw you a hundo, you know what I'm saying? You like, all right, cool, because they respect the grind too, because once again, they remember when they was there. So, you know, I mean, I respect the grind, and I say, man, just keep it up, man. Because I seen this one water boy, he started out with a cup of water, and now he got a whole stand. Oh, wow. Store with everything, chips and everything. I was like, man, that's what's up.
Got the whole corner store out there.
Yeah. So it's basically, sometimes, you know, it be a blessing in disguise. It's actually teaching them business, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean, it's also teaching them, you know, a real grind, hustle mentality. How you want your business ran right, you got to get up and go get the water. You got to be out there selling it. You got to count your own money. Because if not, then they going to take it from you.
Yeah, getting it out the mud will definitely teach you a lot of those business lessons that you don't even know that you learning, because a lot of times we doing these things out of survival.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like fight or flight. Like if I don't do this, I'm not going to eat. But then you acquire all these like different, you know, business skills.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Without even knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when did you meet Big Oomp?
Well, I met Big Oomp around I think my senior year in high school. So
how did you meet him?
Through DJ Jelly. So I was actually doing a talent show, so I needed a mix, like a show CD. So I go up to I went to Greenbrier Flea Market. That's when they used to have the flea markets and they had the stores in it. So I would go to Greenbrier Flea Market. I go in there, DJ Voodoo, once again, a great DJ, I go in there, I'm like, man, I'm trying to find me, I need a mixtape. So he's like, man, I can get you a show CD, you know what I'm saying, make it like a mixtape show. So I was like, perfect. So he said, look, I'm gonna give you my dog DJ Jelly number, and then, you know what I'm saying, maybe, you know what I'm saying, you can pay him and he'll do the mixtape. So I say, okay, cool. So now I go DJ Jelly, I call him up. He like, yeah, man, come over, pull up on 1079. So, you know, now to this day, the offer's still the 1079. We go pull up over there. Jelly, he make the mixtape. He making the show CD. This was for a song I had did called Forrest Gump, you know, Run Forrest Run. So he making the mix CD. He making the thing. So as he making it, he like, man, it's a nice song, man. He like, you know, we about to start a new record label, man, called Big Oomp Records. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, man, we just signed Major Bank. We need some more people, you know what I'm saying, to get on. He's like, you down? I'm like, yeah, shit, I'm down. And then next day, 2-3 days, met Big Oomp. And Big Oomp, he was like, yeah, man, you know, I fuck with you, man. And so then, you know, saying, just rest is history. But at that time, you know, like I say, it's like sometimes, you know, it go back to what we were saying, you do things and you don't even know what you're doing it for. You just doing it because you love the people you're around, you love the music. It ain't about the money, it's about, you know, the position. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at that time, you know, that's what it was all about, and it's still all about that to me, you know what I'm saying, with them. So, you know, you know, he welcomed his arms, opened his arms, and you know, so to this day, like he the first person ever gave me a chance, like actually on the music side that listened to me, like yeah, okay, I you know, I mess with you, so you can never take that for granted, and I always, you know what I'm saying, respect him for that. Yeah. So I met him, then we just started rocking from there, basically. Came with a little chopper toy,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, off the chain, and then even when we was doing those records, those albums, it was stuff on there that like I didn't even like, and we used to always debate about it. Like, I don't like that, but just 9 times out of 10, all the songs that I never liked, them was the hits.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That they fit. They're like, yeah, man, I'm just.
So don't let Baby D pick out
don't
the
let Baby D pick out the singles.
That was funny. So at this time, when you first linked with Big Oomp, did they have the multiple record stores in the city at this time? Was that already established?
Well, actually, at that time, it was more of not the record stores. It was the Big Oomp record stores that was in the flea markets. Now we evolved from the flea markets to the main storefront stores, and that was a process. But it all started from the mixtapes, and the mixtapes selling them, you know, wholesaling them to the moms and pops in the countries around, you know, the DBS sounds and all those type of places, and they would get our music out to those little country towns. Then we start, you know, traveling down there to do music, doing in stores at their stores. So then we came up with the idea. Well, actually, Big Oomp came up with the idea to come back home and basically do the same thing. But so we can, cause we had at that time, it was like Turtles and, you know, Blockbuster Music, and those were like your major chains. So it was a lot of talent though that Atlanta was producing that couldn't make it into those stores. Same way, that's why they were mom and pop stores, so they could bring it to us on a consignment deal, and we could get your stuff hot. And you know, cause people was coming in for the mixtapes anyway, and they be like, who that song you put on there? And then they be like, oh, that's the new T.I., or that's the new Bone Crusher, that's the new Ooh, and then they just buying it. So that's how the whole Big Oomp record store thing started. But like I said, when I started, it started from like the beginning. Like, you know, it was like basically I stumbled across the gold mine, and you know, and I was like, wow, you know. So that's how it happened with Big Oomp, you know. So I think they was still selling them out the trunks. Wow. The trunk and like I said, Greenbrier Flea Market, cause that's where I met Voodoo. So that was like one of their first stores right there. So.
All right, no, that's what's up. That's what's up. I feel like in those days, those were like some of the early days you were hearing the Texas guys like moving it out the trunk too. I mean, I'm not talking about well, this was even before like the Slim Thug, Mike Jones and them era, but you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like they were big in Texas, you know, doing that and having their own distribution.
Yeah, and in New Orleans too. And in New Orleans, cause you know that's how, you know, P them started. Master P, and that's how Cash Money started, straight out the trunk. You know, so you know that was the original grind. Right. But like you say, with the new era, it's like you all you gotta do is just push one button, and you can reach millions and millions of followers. So it did take, you know, it took the, you know, the grind and the gristle to make you appreciate it more. Right. You know, it took that out of it. But like I said, it did, you know, expand the reach. It can expand your reach, and you know that's always a pleasure when you can get your art form heard, you know. Nah,
it took the hand-to-hand definitely out of the game a little more. So now, you came out during a really interesting time, you know, of hip-hop, I feel like, because during the time that you came out, there were a lot of arguments about whether Atlanta or Memphis, you know, started crunk music. I feel like, you know, a lot of the music during that time, you know, like it all like was, you know, sort of in the same pocket.
Exactly.
Were you guys back then, like, did y'all ever catch flack or have issues or just hear that type of chatter? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, and I went into and like with Memphis music and, you know, with Atlanta music, it's like, and same thing with Florida music. It's like it's basically all the same. We all bite off each other a little bit, you know, like the Crunk era started off with 3-6 Mafia, you know, to tear the club up.
Yeah.
That was like, you know, the first time I ever seen the crowd fucking some shit up. That was like I ever seen the crowd react that way. You see what I'm saying? So I would say that was a song that drove me to do ATL, East Side, West Side, songs like that, because I love to see the tear the club up, the crowd participation when they was chanting the songs along with the hook. You see what I'm saying? So that was my motivation. Sure. Now, you know, as far as the other artists in Atlanta, you know, I don't know what drove them to, you know, make crunk music, but I feel like all music started off with a drum kick. You know, and we all bite off a little bit of each other because, you know, I feel like Miami came with the booty shape, like the fast music first. Yeah. And then we just took it and sauced it up, and now, you know, now we got dance music, My Boo's and all that type of records. So, you know, I mean, I feel like we all tie together, and that's why we got such a tight hold on this music industry, from Memphis to Florida to Atlanta, you know, to Tennessee, not Tennessee, but Alabama, like all those that whole little South little connect right there, even Texas, you know what I'm saying? That whole little South connect right there. That's why it's hard to infiltrate the music, because we can hit you from any one of these states and it's gonna kind of sound like it all came from Atlanta, but you know, it's like it's just the feel. Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you said, like each of these places are distinct, where like the lifestyle might be somewhat similar. Like I bet you in most of these cities, like in the South, you know, folks riding Chevys, you know what I mean? Folks riding, you know, box Chevys, and you know what I mean? Now, it might be a different style of how they do it in a different region. Florida got their way of how they do it, different from how you do it here in the A, or, you know what I mean? But, nah.
Yeah, and I always say that, and then it's, you know, I ain't gonna lie, when I go to Florida and I might see something, I'm like, ooh, I'm finna get that and I'm gonna do that at home, because I ain't seen nobody with that. You know, so sometimes, you know, that's how you get your knowledge. You got to go out and explore, because you might see something that somebody else don't see. You know, so you have to go out and go to these different places and go talk to these different people and see, to know that, they the same. We all basically the same. It's just a different lingo. It's just we rock our clothes like this, y'all rock y'all clothes like this, but we still the same.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Most definitely. So your classic song, East Side versus West Side. Can you tell us how that song came about? And that's featuring Lil C.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lil C. Well, actually, we was in the warehouse, and then I think, you know, I seen the crowd, or we was standing right there, and we seen the crowd, and they was like, East Side ho, West Side ho, East Side ho. So me and Lil C was like, okay. So I'm like, man, we need to do that song, bro. We need to make that a song. Cause the crowd was just chanting, and I forgot what they was chanting to. I think they might have been chanting to tear the club up or something, you know what I'm saying? But I know, so I asked him, I was like, man, we need to do that song. He was like, yeah. So then I was like, look, I'm from the East Side, so I'm gonna do the East Side, and then you from the West Side, you gonna do the West Side. So then we went in, I think we went in that next day and did that song. And even then, we didn't know it was gonna have the impact that it did, you know, like how it did. And to this day, you know, that song, they still, you know, talking about, man, every time they play that song, man, used to beat everybody up, man. Everybody I see, every time I see that, the first thing they say, man, you know how many fights that song got me in? I was like, yeah, bro, I can believe it, because they banned it too. They was banning it in certain places, like, don't do the East Side, West Side. I don't care what you do, but don't do the East Side. We do it anyway. They throw us out and all that kind of shit. They tear the club out, man. I was like, but it would be fun times though, because even though all that was going on, nobody never got killed, you know what I'm saying? Nobody never got shot, you know what I'm saying? It was just a bunch of fights. You know, and everybody go home, come back next week, and it'll be all good. So.
I mean, that was in the day where you could shoot the fair one and come back the next day. To, you know what I mean? It's like live to fight another day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Now everybody just trigger happy and don't even know how to hold the gun.
Yeah,
you know?
But I really think that more come from, you know, just the social media aspect, you know, because, you know, sometimes, you know, when you get into a situation like that, you know, it be more personal, you know, and it be about some people, you know, be more embarrassed than anything. You know what I'm saying? So they just have to feel like, well, okay, I'm just do this, but once again, to go back to the, you know, 10 seconds, you know what I mean? You could have thought about what you did, but now when you sitting down, you know what I mean, 30, 40, 50 years, you like, damn, man, I shouldn't have did that shit.
Right.
You know, it don't even be worth it. I could have just, you know, just got up, went home, and caught his ass that week.
Yeah.
And just like, all right, I'm ready back now. I'm gonna beat your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something, man. But you know, man, life lessons. You have to go through things.
Yeah.
You know, you have to really experience that type of thing to know. You know what I mean? How to act. Cause I could tell you this all day. Cause I done heard it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't listen.
Yeah.
You know, but when I went through things, I understood now. Oh, that's what he was saying. Oh, that was my grandma. Oh, that what she was saying. Now I see what she talking about. So.
Word.
Yes,
Yo, was one of the things that you feel like maybe somebody told you back in the day that you didn't listen to, but then as you grew older, you was like, damn, that makes so much sense, or you started moving, you know, in a different way, you know what I mean, because you matured.
Well, when my grandma, and go back to her, she instilled a lot of game in me. And she always told me that it's nothing new up under the sun. So basically, all the little slick stuff I was trying to do, that she was like, you know, she done raised, you know, her sons. My mama is her daughter, you know what I'm saying? So you think you doing something, I done raised your mama, you know, so she used to always say, ain't nothing new up under the sun. And as you see, like back then we was rocking Jordans, high tops, you know, this, that, and the other, and then they just bring them right back. Now you see the same thing, Jordans, high tops, you know, high top fades, you know, the clothes, the glasses, like it's all coming back. It's just like ain't nothing new up under the sun. Everything that you done seen, you gonna see it again.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you were also around and in the mix when you know, Big Meech and, you know, the whole BMF movement came here to Atlanta. Can you kind of speak on that, because that was like a whole. That
was when the world changed. I don't know if you heard what I said. That was when the world changed, my brother. I'm telling you, and people can say what they want to say, but that was the first time that I ever seen a bunch of black guys all together shining at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? When I'm talking about shining, I ain't talking about like, you know, Chevys and Monte Carlos. That's what at that time, that's what was balling. Like the bigger your rims, the more money you have. You feel what I'm saying? At that time. But we never seen, you know, a group of guys just like us, you know, pulling up in like Lambos and Ferraris, and you know, we never even thought that high. You see, as a people, I feel. You see what I'm saying? I think that we never, as a people, you know, it's probably like movie stars and stuff we never interacted with, you know, that probably felt like, you know, that's how they live. But as, you know, just coming from the streets, you know what I'm saying? You never, even rappers weren't doing that. You know what I mean? You never seen a bunch of rappers pulling up like this.
Yeah. So
the first time I actually got a taste was when I seen them at Jazzy T's. And then like, that was the first time I ever seen somebody throwing money in there. Cause that was disrespectful at the time. You know, they didn't want you to throw the money like the gentleman clubs, stuff like that. You couldn't throw money on the ground. Like the girls would be like, hey, you might get kicked out. You know?
So what, like, so back then it was like how you see on TV, somebody putting the money in the G-string?
Yeah, it wasn't no ones. It was, you owe me $20 and you give you $20 in her hand and that's it. It wasn't no, so when I go to the Jazzy T's, right, I go to Jazzy T one day. DJ Funky, he could contest to this story. DJ Funky, Chap, and Skeeter, cause they was in there DJing. I swear to God. Kool-Aid, he was there too. So look, we in there, right? So like their favorite song was So Icy with Gucci, Jeezy, and Lil Will.
Yeah.
So I guess they might have told him to play that song or something. They went up there, I guess they told the DJ, you know, see, I didn't know, you know, I'm just coming in there, right? So I guess this is my first time ever seeing it. I just like, damn, who the hell is this? And they like, oh, that BMF, that Big Meats, you know, So I'm like, dang, okay. So I go in there and I see them throw, man, at least about a good 20. And at that time, 20 racks just to throw in the club, and it was never heard of.
Yeah.
And they never know, and get 20 bottles. And that was never heard of. Like, folks weren't even buying bottles. It was like, did y'all bring y'all bottles in or something? Like, where these bottles come from? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, so, I seen that, man. And that time, you know, I didn't even know what I had. It had to register, right? Mm-hmm. So then I go back home and I tell my girl, I'm like, man, I said, man, I just seen some folks just throwing money in the club. Like I never seen this. Like I'm like a kid in the can. They just throwing the money away, like just throwing that shit. And I was like not knowing that was the first time that, like, you know, Make It Rain, that's where Make It Rain came from. Mm-hmm. Right then, at Jazzy T's, right there, Big Beats throwing money everywhere. Mm-hmm. So then to Make It Rain, and then to go to Scrokers, and then it went to Scrokers. Then it come from Scrokers, and it just evolved, and it became like, you know what I'm saying, a good plague to everybody was just hearing about these successful black men, you know what I'm saying, doing, you know what I'm saying, good. And me, I came in on the music side, you know, with Blue Da Vinci, you know what I'm saying, and Jeezy was around, you know, so we all was on the music side. Lil C was around. Mm-hmm. So we was just, you know, doing the music, you know what I mean? So by me coming in and seeing on the music side, and we had the entertainment side going crazy, it's like that was one of my lessons to experience these different cultures, and you know, and realizing that even in LA they like this type of music. And even down here, you know, that was my first time meeting Rick Ross down in Miami. Like when he had the first song, Every Day on Hustling, I'm like, you know, like dang, okay, I can fuck with this. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was my first time hearing that record. Man, so you know, it's so much, you know, that you know, I feel like the fam they brought to the industry, you know what I'm saying, as far as how people rap, you know, how people shoot their videos, how people want to, you know, rock a lot of jewelry and stuff now, you know, driving the foreign cars, you know, and, you know, just living a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, living a millionaire lifestyle, you know, and I feel like, you know, that he contributed that to, you know what I'm saying, to us as a culture, because at one point we were limited to think, you know, to limit it to the way that we felt like we could live. You see what I'm saying? Because now if you see, Atlanta done went from riding Chevys to, you know, Monte Carlos to everybody in some foreign, you know, everybody Rolex stuff, you know, so that's the growth of the city, you know, and that's what you want to see. You know, you don't want to see us back riding around and this, that, no. And that's why when you come, you like, wow, what the hell am I in a music video? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's the growth, and I feel like we're going to continue to grow, because they got a lot of big plans that they doing. Like they just did the hip hop Black Walk of Fame, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's gonna be big. Atlanta's about to be crazy. No,
for sure. I mean, even like things like, you know, even things like the Trap Museum.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, the Trap Museum.
Things like that, just paying homage to the culture.
To the culture, so. And all that came from, you know what I'm saying, the influence that, you know what I'm saying, Big Meats, you know what I'm saying, brought to the game, you know what I'm saying, and you know how Young Jeezy, you know, explained it, you know what I mean, and how he, you know, how he projected it and gave you, you know what I'm saying, a look inside, you know what I'm saying, to the mob, and you know how we was balling through the music, you know what I mean, you felt them, you know what I'm saying, so, you know, it's so much, man, that, you know, that at sometimes you miss those days, and then at sometimes you sit back and you reflect and be like, dang, I missed that lesson. Dang, man, dang, if I knew what I knew now, then I would have did this differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, one more thing my grandma always say, every lesson gonna cost you. You know what I mean? It's gonna cost you something. You know,
Yeah,
it might cost you
sure.
$1, it might cost you $10, it might cost you some time, but it's gonna cost you something. So every lesson that you learn, know that you gonna pay for it.
That's real. That's so real. And you got to move around hoping that you don't make one of them moves where the lesson costs you your life.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
You know, so
That's real talk.
That's what's up, man. Granny always gonna come with some dope
and
game.
she gonna say it so soft too.
Right.
So to where it go over your head, till you really sit down and think about it, like, damn, I remember she told me that. Now I see what she's saying.
Right.
Yeah, man, I love her to death.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So did you watch the BMF show? Did you get into that first season?
Yeah, I watched a little bit. I watched the season. Yeah, it was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
But see, all that, you know, it's all about, you know, with Big Meats, you know, how he was coming up in the Detroit scene. You know what I'm saying? When my first time meeting him was, you know, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for, you know, season
Same,
2.
right.
I want to see what's
Yeah,
going
like
on
I'm
with the
definitely
city.
interested to
Yeah,
see.
I'm big, and big shout out to Lil Meats too, cause
Yeah.
you know I feel like he doing a great job at the role. You know what I mean, playing his dad. You know what I mean, everybody, the whole cast over there, they going crazy.
Yeah,
So,
and he took it serious, like took
yeah,
acting
take it real
classes
serious,
and
yeah,
like,
man.
you know.
So you got to be. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that business mind. It's not always about, you know what I'm saying, getting in front of the camera or being at the club drinking bottles and all that. It's like what you do outside of that makes you great. You know what I'm saying? And for him to go take the acting classes and take it serious, you know, I can tell that, and the rest of the world, I know they can tell that he's gonna be a great actor.
Yeah, no, for sure. The song ATL Ho with you, Archie Eversole, and Pastor Troy.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Archie too.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Archie
That's
Eversole,
crazy,
man. Can you talk about that song and if you remember like the studio session, you know, from that song and like how, you know, how that came about? Because I mean, that's a true anthem.
Atlanta song.
You know.
Well, once again, that was one of those records that we slept on, you know, because at that time I think we was banking on Bag Up, the record I had with Pastor Troy. Bag Up, Ear Fleet. So that's the one that we was really pressing for. Okay, so we already had Pastor Troy. You know, he was one of like one of our main supporters. Like we was his main supporter and still is to the day. So he would always be around, you know, and we'll send him records and he'll send us records and we would always swap out records. So we was in the studio one day and then I just like, man, I think they were saying, cause we had already came up with the East Side Ho. So I was like, man, you know, I guess, you know, at that time, as you can see, we was taking a little bit of the Memphis style, cause everything was, yeah, ho, you know what I'm saying? It was all about ho, this, ho, that. So it was like, so I was like, man, fuck it, ATL, ho. So it was like, we already won with the East Side, ho.
Yeah.
So why not say ATL, ho? It's like, shit, we need an Atlanta song, ATL. So, and that's how it came about. So I did my verse. So we was thinking, cause you know, we was trying to, you know, like who we need to make the song great. So then we was like, okay, we need to get Pastor Troy, cause we ready. It's a ATL, and we ready. Everybody like, and then we had Archie. But at that time, they was kind of low key beefing. You know what I'm saying? This is inside a secret. So at that time, they was low key beefing, cause you know Archie and Pastor Troy, they used to beef a lot. You know what I'm saying? But so I was like, but I fought with Archie and I fought with Troy. You know, since I was like, dang, man. I was like, man, Archie and Troy be fine on this song. And they was like, man, you know, woot. So to make a long story short, we got Troy on it, you know what I'm saying? Then we got Archie on it, you see what I'm saying? And put the song together, and then that's how it came about. So it wasn't like we was just in the studio, like smoking, and just like, man, fuck this shit, man. We from Atlanta, let's do ATL. No, it wasn't like that. It was more like, you know, like we, you know, like how you really do a song, you just piece it together.
Right.
But once again, it wasn't one of those songs that we just felt like it was just a represent song. You know, like we gonna just represent for the city, you know, like that. But then when it caught on like how it caught on, it was like, wow. And like to this day, it's still relevant and they still playing it. And, you know, people still give it the same reaction because, you know, once again, you know, I was making music based on a feeling, and I love my city. So it was like I want a person from Atlanta to when they hear this song to be proud to be from Atlanta. ATL, I'm from Atlanta, shawty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all that shit came about, man. But I'm glad, you know, that Troy jumped on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace once again to Archie. I'm glad he jumped on it because I don't think it would have been as big as it is if they didn't get on it.
Nah,
you know
he was
what I mean?
riding on that.
They did their thing. And they was big artists, you know what I'm saying? We wish they still big artists, you know, at that time. You know, Troy had the We Ready going crazy. So for him to take out of his time to come and to even do that, you know what I'm saying, was a blessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Nah, Baby D, you was one of the, like, I'm gonna give you your flowers, man. You were like, I feel like one of the, like, more influential artists, you know, when you was coming out, like, I mean, from your style to like your style of clothes, like how you was dressing. I feel like you was one of the like first cats that was kind of, you know, mixing like designer and different brands that cats just might not have been up on, but keeping it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how we move in the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like not too over the top, but you was one of those people that was, you know, that was doing that, and even your music, man. Do you feel that, you know, when people are talking about Atlanta and you know, the history of the scene, do you feel that your name is brought up enough? Do you feel that Big Oomp Records, you know, that you guys are brought up enough?
Well, I one thing that I know, like, you know, a big shout out to the folks, you know what I'm saying, at P Valley, because, you know, they sampled the East Side, West Side on the Mississippi Pride song, and then, you know, the dude, Murder, you know, he just gave him a shout out, like, you know, it's Baby D. So, you know, like, my name is always relevant, you feel what I'm saying? And I feel like Big Oomp Records' name is always relevant. And I always feel like that people always remember you from the last thing you did, you feel what I'm saying? So that's how you build your reputation. And from Big Oomp Records, you know what I'm saying, to AMG, to, you know what I'm saying, to Baby D, all the way on down, it's like we, you know, we always representing ourselves well and left a good taste in folks' mouth. So we can always come back, and anytime you hear those names, it's a brand, you know, and I say that sometimes, you know, that my name is bigger than my music, and sometimes my music is bigger than my name. Like, man, I ain't know you saying that, yeah. Are you a Baby D? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I get that more than I would get, you know what I'm saying, anything else, which is all good because I know that, you know, at least people still talking about you, you know what I'm saying? But when people stop talking about you, that's when you should be worried. It's like, but as long as people still talking about you, you know, we got the Oomp Count Live TV show, it just got picked up with Fox Soul, so we got that coming out. So it's like all because you're not in the limelight all the time doesn't mean that you're not working or you're not relevant, you feel what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't just look past the little guy, you know what I'm saying, or that you think is the little guy, because that's really the big guy, you know what I mean? He just chilling, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it works sometimes. So like, you know, I feel like, you know, as far as Atlanta history, like, shit, ATL was stamped in Atlanta history. You know, I feel like Big Oomp Records is for sure stamped in Atlanta history because we opened up doors for a lot of artists from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like that's one thing that you can't, you know, you can't deny, you know. So I think it's gonna always, we gonna always be relevant.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Even though if people don't say, oh yeah, they did this, they did that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you supposed to know, you know?
Right.
Yeah. If you from Atlanta, you supposed to already know.
Right, supposed to
Exactly.
be tapped in. What are you working on currently? Like, what can the people expect, you know, from Baby D coming up?
Well, I got this movie I'm working on, Smoke Out. I'm about to get ready to drop that. You know, me and my dog KP got the new label about to crank off, Atlanta Music Group. My dog, got an artist Leak. You know, he about to go crazy. Working on another project called Unexpected Behavior with Blue Gold. Swag Official. I got a clothing line coming. You know, my boy Swag Official. Dang man, it's so much, man. Big Oomp, we got the Oomp Camp Live TV show coming on Fox.
And y'all was ahead of the game with Oomp Camp Live.
Oomp Camp Live,
I mean, that was a TV show playing in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Exactly,
like,
on Channel 69. And once again, you know, all we wanted to do was give a platform for the unheard. You feel what I'm saying? And at that time, you had your BET jams, you had your MTV, and they weren't just, once again, accepting anybody videos. You know, you had to go through a certain channel. But we built that platform for those people because it was a lot of, like Outkast said, the South had something to say. So it was a bunch of talent down here, you know, that people just was sleeping on. So we just gave them a platform, and it worked out for everybody. You know, it worked out for everybody. We was right there next to Unreal Star, rest in peace. We was right there next to Unreal. And that was one of my favorite shows, American Rap Makers. So that he gave me the inspiration when I was doing the Oomp Camp Live TV show. And like, we got the same cast, you know, doing it now too. So, you know, it's gonna be real big. So other than that, hosting, you know, got a snack shack, you know, I'm just trying to be a businessman, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have 10 different hustles, you know, 10 different businesses to be successful, you know. So it's like I'm trying to have 10 different things going on. So those 10 forms of income, and then you can always, you know, go to this one, go to this one, go to this one, go to this one, but it always tie together at the same time. So.
Word. Can you give us 2 of your favorite restaurants in Atlanta from the east side? You know what I'm saying? It could be something that's not even open nowadays, and it could be something current.
Hodges would have been my first go-to, man. They done shut down Hodges, man.
That was barbecue, right?
Yes, man. It was right there out Kendall Road. You know, it's rest in peace to Hodges, man. And believe it or not, I like Piccadilly, man.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, right there next to, right there at Campbell, right there in South DeKalb
South DeKalb Mall.
Yes, sir. I go in there and grab me a little steak and one of the little cube steak every once in a while, rice. Yeah.
Okay. And then, what are 2 of your favorite clubs that back in your day of you know what I'm saying, having records playing in the clubs and
well,
you know
the show, the Warehouse. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because the Warehouse was like one of our places that, you know, basically, you know, kind of basically just built our career, you know, as artists. You know, that's where we used to go and party and, you know, and see and perform and stuff like that. And another one would be probably, man, the Bounce, man. I miss the old Bounce. You know, they changed it to the Bank now, you know what I'm saying? But I miss the old Bounce, man, because, man, it was so many 5 concerts in the Bounce. We did so many 5 concerts in the Bounce. I remember 3 Six Mafia came to the Bounce. Yeah, that's on the west side, man. I know you say on the east side, but man, like at that time we had like Sharon Showcase, you know, that would be my east side, Sharon Showcase. And then like Golden Glide, you know, cause we really didn't have to. Sharon was like the first, you know, teenage like situation, a club situation on the east side. So that would have been my only club I would go to. That's what like I met like Kids and Rock and, you know, like DJ Smurf and all them, you know, that's when they were doing the booty shake and Luke came, and so we got a bunch of that Freaknik era over there.
Yeah. Okay. Forgot to ask you this earlier. Who were some of your influences when you were coming up? Like, who were some of the artists that you was into?
Well, Kilo for sure. Okay. That was one of my biggest influence. But you know, Kilo for sure. I also like my boy Slick Rick. I like Slick Rick too, cause I like the way he told stories. You know, and how he played with words. Show Outkast, you know, I grew up to them, listening to them, the whole Dungeon family. You know, Tupac, you know, for sure, you know, it's just like music is like music to me, so I have a lot of different influence, cause like I say, all music, different types of music and different artists, that make you feel a certain type of way. So they'll make you tap into a feeling. So it's like, you know, like Good and Mob would have you want to go eat some soul food, you know what I'm saying? Outkast have you want to be on some southern playlistic pimping type shit, you know what I'm saying? You hear tear the club up, oh now I'm ready to tear the club up, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I would listen to all these different artists and I would see like what they was doing. And then in my subconscious, I guess just gaining, just soaking it all up. So when it was my turn, it was like it was just natural to control the crowd, to be a DJ, to say, okay, I'm gonna make a song about a cup. All right, let's talk about drinking. Let's talk about the club. You know, and if you notice, all my music, it's about partying, having fun. You know, getting money. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Represent where you from. Stuff like that. It's about, you know, trying to make you feel good as a person, you know what I'm saying? Make you feel good and uplift you, and that's what a lot, you know, Decatur, East Side, Montreal, County Road, you know, so that was where I got, you know, the want to represent, you know, every time I say something about my side of town.
All right, Baby D, you got any shout outs or anything you want to do?
Yeah, man, shout out to the whole fam, man. Follow me at Dizzle, DIZZLEAMG 23. I'm all on well like a spider. Big shout out to AMG. Big shout out to Oomp Camp, man. We in here, man. Got some big things coming, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the year, end of the year, so I don't want to spoil it, but y'all just be on the lookout for me. Follow me.
Yes, that's what's up, man. Man, appreciate you coming on the porch, man.
Hey, man. Appreciate for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dirty South, down here, little buddy, we don't play no games. I represent the ATL. East side, South, and the West side niggas on the thing. Know you hood up, make sure jump.